On a somber gray morning, hours after the Cape Cod first responder community lost one of their own, it was a fitting tribute to honor several Barnstable residents at the Cape Islands and Southeast Massachusetts 16th Annual Heroes Breakfast. The morning started with a moment of silence for fallen Yarmouth police officer Sean Gannon and a moving rendition of Amazing Grace by the Brian Boru Pipe Band. The mood turned celebratory as the program started, emceed by Doug Meehan, co-anchor of WCVB Channel 5. The heroes were introduced by their nominators in the categories of Armed Forces, Community Impact, Community Service, Life-Saving, Individual with Disabilities, Professional, Red Cross, and Youth. Our Barnstable heroes included Mark Corliss, a Main Street business owner who owns the Spilt Milk Art Gallery and Tattoo Studio, who donates his time and talent to women who have had mastectomies. He said, "I love to put a smile on the face of someone who has been on a long, sad journey." Mark Adams and Linda Backus, staff members of Champ Homes, and Austin Davis, a resident of Champ Homes, were in the right spot at the right time when George Dakin, a visitor to Cape Cod, collapsed on the sidewalk of the Champ Homes campus. Although George was not breathing, Mark immediately began CPR, and he was quickly joined by Linda and Austin. They continued chest compressions until the Hyannis Fire Department arrived, and miraculously, George survived. They had been taught never to give up. Melissa Averinos, West Barnstable resident, witnessed her husband, Stuart Schulman, collapse in cardiac arrest last year. Melissa dialed 911 and began manual CPR on her husband, prompted by the operator, in which she had learned previously at a course at the West Barnstable Fire Department. Only about 6% of home cardiac arrests survive, and Melissa's husband's prognosis is for a complete recovery.
About 4 years before, he made me take a CPR class at West Barnstable Fire, and so that kind of kicked in when the 911 operator told me I needed to do compressions because he had a cardiac arrest. He was dead. They told me I needed to start compressions, and I knew how to do that because I had learned it at West Barnstable Fire.
6 months ago from today, actually, Friday the 13th, she saved my life when I collapsed at home, and I owe everything to her.
One day last spring, off-duty Hyannis Fire Department Lieutenant Thomas Landman III of Cotuit saw a shopper go down in BJ's in Hyannis. He had someone called 911 and immediately started CPR on the victim and administered 3 shocks via the AED. During transportation to the hospital, John Howard was alert and verbally responsive. Lieutenant Landman's decisive and immediate action saved John's life. A lifeguard at Craigville Beach, Jake Avery, 19, tested his life-saving skills when a father brought his baby, who was not breathing, to Jake. He immediately went into Lifeguard's emergency action plan. He jumped from his tower, assessed the child's condition, and began the baby shuffle. 5 compressions and 5 back blows to dislodge the piece of watermelon the baby had choked on. EMS on the scene reported that Jake was calm, effective, and professional, truly a life-saving hero here in Barnstable.
We're very fortunate to have such amazing people that work for us as lifeguards in the summer, and Jake's just a perfect example of everything that you want in an employee and a lifeguard.
Just proud that Jake really stepped into action, and all of our lifeguards trained so hard to be prepared for the moment that they need to act, and we're just couldn't be more proud than we are for Jake.
It really means a lot. It means a lot, especially for the town of Barnstable, getting the publicity that they deserve. It means a lot that I was nominated and that I was able to receive it.
And there was a special award today. You were also awarded the National Hero Award. Was that a very big surprise?
Yeah, I was not expecting it at all. It's really nice to just know. I guess it's nice for the Red Cross to know that what they're doing is working.